5 degrees. One more point and Barbara might actually win today's weather predictions. Hope it doesn't happen to her like it happened to me yesterday. All I needed was one more point as well, and then it went ballistically backwards and I didn't get any closer, so therefore Barbara won. Having said that, it is Wednesday, October the 12th, and let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107fm, and I'm absolutely elated, believe me, absolutely elated, because we're catching up with good friends of ours. Of course, we're talking about the Roots, absolutely the Roots, the Heartland Roots Band coming out of Leicester, and we're going to be talking to our good friend Nick. Unfortunately, Paul, he's a little under the weather right now, and well, you know, broth, Paul, take a bit of broth, believe me. You'll understand. Having said that, got to welcome along everybody that's watching right now. So happy to have you on board, and if you're going to watch a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do, really. Sub, thumb, bell, bingo. Bell, because we have notifications to let you know the important people that are coming for interviews, absolutely. And of course, Nick with the Heartland Roots Band is joining us. In the meantime, the thumb thing. Go on, get epileptic with that, and of course, subscribe. Double dare you. Be part of the family. Become part of the noise. That's our family here at Galaxy. In the meantime, let me tell you how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Records, Sony Music, The Orchard, here with Galaxy.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107fm in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.
Oh gosh, Brian Wayne Perry is
We're off and running.
Sorry?
We're off and running.
We are, believe me. We are. Jimmy Buffett is watching. Nice to have you on board, Jimmy. And Brian Wayne Perry's back. Hey, you brother man.
Hey, everyone.
So, you know, the last time we were talking, really like this, you mentioned to me that the Queen wasn't feeling so hot.
Well, we sort of had an inkling, didn't we, bro? You know what I mean? With what goes on, and she's been out of the public eye for a while, God bless her soul. And, you know, what happens, and here we are, and we embrace the new king, and we get on with it, don't we? So.
Yeah, you know, will he get augmentation on his ears?
What you mean, so he's not so spot-like?
Yeah, well, you know, look, it's either that, or, of course, they're going to have to make a crown that actually makes his ears look small, don't you think?
It'll have to be a pretty big crown then.
Yeah, well, you know, he's only got a small head. That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we were both right. And I know you've got connections that way. You were saying about your mum and stuff. It was a sad part of our history, but that's done now, and we all move on, and the world still revolves, I'm afraid, and it comes to us all in the end, doesn't it? So.
Well, it does, and we knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
Yeah.
Just strangely enough, we happened to be talking about it when it was happening. But having said that, my bro,
So morbid.
life moves on. You know what I mean?
There you go.
It does, and you have to, well, you can reflect on the past, but don't live in it.
I totally agree. There's an old saying that we use, and it's, in order to discover new oceans, you must first have the courage not to look back at the shore.
Yeah.
So you can basically keep moving forwards, you know, and we don't reflect. Whilst we've got great memories, we hold those dear, but we have to move on. You know, the world doesn't stay static.
Believe me, I understand. I really do. We had a young fella, between the North Island and the South Island, we got a body of water called the Cook Strait, right?
Yeah. Well, I know of it, yeah.
Well, we have a lot of people from time to time over the years trying to swim across it. Well, there was a young fellow, he got within about a mile of the shore. I mean, it's hugely, big swim. And he says, you know, my arms are tired, so he turned around and swam back.
Yeah. He was full of the smoke.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today I'm joined, coming out of Leicester in the UK, the Heartland Roots Band. I see Leicester's not doing too bad as far as football goes as well. I mean soccer, yeah, not rugby. You know, they're doing okay. Welcome back, Nick. It's a pleasure to see you again.
And thank you very much for inviting us. I'm sorry the rest of the band couldn't be with us, but work commitments, and as you mentioned, Paul, our drummer, who is going to join us tonight, was a bit poorly. But again, thank you for having us on your show. We're always grateful.
Well, believe me, Nick, it is an absolute pleasure. And believe me, we call you royalty around here because you come from, you know, that area and have that prestigiousness as well. So believe me, you're worth the title. I've got to be honest. We are playing you ever since the last time we met. We still haven't stopped playing one and or three of your tracks. So
Thank you so much.
It's an absolute pleasure to be able to do so, and I've got to be honest with you, one of the very few bands over the years that we've been doing this that has more than 2 tracks being played at any one given time.
We're always grateful for the airplay and for the lovely support of you guys and your listeners as well, which are worldwide. And as you allude to all the time, it's a family, and it's nice to be part of that family.
Well, it is a family, my bro, and we're so happy to have you a part of it. Also, as our foreign correspondent in the UK, I got to admit, that's rather a...
Well, I was hopefully keeping you up to date with up-to-date news regarding Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, obviously, and various other things that go on. But yeah, I'll happily be your correspondent, unpaid, of course, quite happy.
Nice, yeah, and believe me, you wouldn't get paid anyway. You wouldn't.
Story of my life.
Terry Van Cannon's joining us. Nice to have you back, Pumpkin. How are ya? Gosh, it's been on dog's age. Where you been? Of course, you've been picking pumpkins, haven't you? Yeah. Do you see them in your sleep anymore? Believe me, I saw those videos. All those pumpkins, those big trucks and everything. How do you grade them? Really? And are you picking them off the ground and putting them straight into the trucks, or are you putting them through a pick house? Something like that. I want to know. I really am. So I'm going to talk to you about that when we get a chance. Believe me, Pumpkin. And, of course, love to the Muse as well. Absolutely. Dawn Rex. Hello, Dawn. Where you been? It's been a long time since we've caught up. It really has. Nice to have you on board, Dawn. It really, really is. Now, we're talking to Nick Plews, coming out of the band, Heartland Roots Band, in the UK. And, Nick, we opened up the show with Crash and Burn. I don't know whether this is an omen or not, but I don't want to crash and burn. But tell me about this track.
Well, I'll be tactful about it. I think it was mentioned before. And by the way, do you think it sounds a little bit Rolling Stones-ish?
Kind of. I had that feel about it.
Yeah, and that's not relevant to the question you asked, actually. It just popped into my head. I was listening to it the other day and thought that. A lot of the songs came out of lockdown, guys, basically. And Crash and Burn, there was inferences towards an old drummer that we had pre my joining the band. And I think the less said about that, the better. I think it's up to the listeners to make their own minds and have a listen to the lyrics and hopefully get immersed in that. But a lot of the tracks came out. Adrian, a prolific songwriter with Sam, our singer, and Adrian, the leader of the band, who writes a lot of material. He's the best one to speak about that, to be honest with you. But have a listen to the lyrics and make your own mind up, guys. I would suggest.
Well, you know something. When you mentioned the I just had this vision of Hake doing, you know, the Jagger strut across the stage. That's kind of worrying now.
It's not worrying, that's frightening.
Yeah, it kind of is, you know, Hake doing that. Oh, gosh. Dear, oh dear.
While we're on that subject, Grant, may I actually say, I don't know if it's the same in New Zealand, but in the UK now, it's National Hugger Drummers Day. Did you know that?
No, but believe me, I got to worry about one, especially if he's got about 4 skins.
It's his bongos that he plays with that worries me.
Believe me, bro, I'm in big favour of more cowbell.
Yeah, well, he's been banned from having one on his kit.
Yeah, well, I'm proficient at the cowbell, I really am. And believe me, I've actually spoken to a number of artists over the years, and I said, you know, when you come to New Zealand, you know, I can play the cowbell, you know, and they go, yes, but we don't want to upset our drummer.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's the old drummer joke as well. How do you know if the drummer's sitting level because he dribbles out both sides of his mouth?
Exactly. And I give you Mick Fleetwood as a good example of that. Terry Van
He's a
Cannon.
big guy. I wouldn't argue with him.
No, believe me. Well, you know something, I've been mistaken for him. Believe me, I'll give
Yeah,
that.
well, I can see the resemblance.
Well, I tell you what, a couple of years ago, somebody actually took a photo of me and passed it on to Barbara, but they also passed on a photo of not Mick Jagger, I've been there, done that, you know, no satisfaction with this conversation, but Mac Fleetwood was in town with Fleetwood Mac playing in Auckland at the time, and somebody said, holy hell, it's Mac Fleetwood, and I'm sitting in this place having a quiet drink, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What do? Do you say no, or do you go, buy me a beer?
Did you milk it?
Absolutely. Absolutely I did. You know, you sort of, well, I got to go now. We've got to go and do a show at the stadium, so thank you very much. Hop in a cab and get away.
Yeah, what's your name? I'll put you on the guest list.
Exactly. Terry Van Cannon has got back to us and said it had moved over 1.5 million pumpkins. It still had 3 weeks to go before Halloween. OMG, my bro. That's too many pumpkins, really. Working the second shift of the day on night, phones, miss you guys. Well, Terry, we miss you as well, and take care of yourself.
Release that track.
1.5 million pumpkins. No. No. I'd stop at 10 and say, okay, I've had enough. Believe me.
Great effort, Terry.
Yeah, believe me. This man, he comes out of North Carolina, and he is an absolute master on the slide steel guitar, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm familiar with some of his stuff that you played. So, yeah, please say hi from me.
Yeah, well,
I'll say it myself. Hi, Terry. How you doing?
There you
Yeah,
go.
catch up.
In fact, you never know, he might get in touch with you or vice versa. Absolute wonderful man, he really, really is. And right now, of course, this lovely lady has all of these pumpkins that she's growing in Mexico in this huge farm. 1.5 million pumpkins. Believe me, that's not pleasurable. That's a nightmare kind of deal, isn't it?
It's a lot of soup.
A lot of pie as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Don't-
Oh, my goodness me. Well, best of luck to the Van Cannons dealing with all that amount of stuff.
Yeah, believe me, and I tell you, Terry, you know, I would take Nick's advice here and I would give it up. Tell me about Give It Up.
Again, songs that came out of the lockdown. I'm probably not the best person to. I would have my own take on the lyrics. I understand where Adrian's coming from, and Sam, who had the input in the songwriting process. But a lot of things were going on, obviously, over the last couple of years, which led to Adrian writing the material that he does. And it's all relative to lockdown and what people experienced and what everybody went through during that particular time. But there's some upbeat songs on the album, as you would allude to, and there's some more sort of deeper downbeat songs. But again, I would just encourage people, please have a listen if you can get out there, get it on Spotify, whatever medium you choose to take your music, have a listen.
Now, while we're talking about get out there and get on to it, Rachel coming out of North Carolina, strange that, she's asking, How do we get hold of you, Nick? As a fan, how do we get hold of the Heartland Roots Band? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? Are you a Redditor? But more importantly, do you respond?
Yes to all of them, and certainly do respond, and mostly individually to people, because I think that's important, and the whole band share that ethos. But as far as contacting us, we're on every platform that you can think of, you know, so all of those that you mentioned, from Spotify. If people want to get hold of us on our email, it's heartlandrootsband.co.uk. We're on Instagram, the HRB official, all over Facebook, and every other medium that you can think of. We've got Linktree, links to all of our stuff, and that. So, yeah, just check us out, the Heartland Roots Band. If you search, you shall find.
Absolutely brilliant. But in the meantime, let's get back to the music. Here is our feature artist today, the Heartland Roots Band, coming out of Leicester, UK. Give it up.
Thank you.
Okay, darling, you got.
Gosh, it's hot in here. And the windows are open.
What's your temperature there?
20.2 degrees.
Oh, that's okay. That's pleasant.
Yeah, well, add another 10 for in here with all the computers and stuff. It gets a little more than pleasant. You know what I mean?
How long before it really hots up? As in, like, ridiculous. How long you got? A month, 2 months?
Yeah, about that. But it's only 11 weeks until Christmas.
Oh yeah. Oh, I tell you what, I also wanted to mention to you, my friend, about flying. My brother's got a Yak 52.
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, an old Russian trainer thing, and he flies his Cessna and stuff. Him and his wife are both got pilot's license, and we used to get up quite a lot with them and do flower bombing and stuff on Christmas Day over targets, dropping bags of flour and on stuff. And I've flown all over the place.
And you're trying to do Snoopy's Christmas.
Yeah. I tell you what, the best experience. I went up in a what was it called? It was a stunt plane. I'll get the name. A guy called Denny Dobson, ex-RAF, flies part of the crunchy stuff, and he took me up in a stunt plane, and we did all the inverted flying and all that. Because I'm a bit of a thrill seeker like yourself. You
Nice.
know, I've had my moments in my life as well. But yeah, I love that. But flying, yeah, that'd be a passion. I'd love to get a PPL actually at some point.
Well, I was talking to Barbara the other day because we've got this big electric plane in Auckland that's going to start ferrying people across from Auckland to Rangitoto Island, which isn't a long way. But now, see, yesterday in Dubai they were testing I think it's the ultimate drone, but it only takes 2 people. On the other hand, there's another company out there that's got one that takes 4 people, if you know what I mean. So it looks like it's the way of the future. And I said to Barbara, would you get in it? Would you go for a flight? And she's going, not on your life. You know?
Are they piloted? I appreciate it's electric, but are they piloted?
No, it's all
Remotely
automated.
Controlled.
It's all automated.
It's what, sorry?
It's all automated.
Right, okay. That's a new concept then. Getting in a plane with nobody at the helm.
Exactly. It's the ultimate drone. I would do it just for the experience. You know, being a pilot myself, I can understand the what goes into it. You know what I mean? So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
They're not going to do this and not have experienced people running it. You know?
Grant, you know something? I'm a believer. You only live once, and I'd give it a go as well.
Yeah.
I would.
I like it.
I've been in far worse predicaments in my life, brother.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I really have.
Yeah.
Mike Gill is watching. Hello, Mike. Nice to have you back, brother. How's Greg? I hope everybody in the family over there are good and fine and happy and having a good time. Can't wait for new Lifesave or LiveSave music to come out.
I nearly said it.
Nearly said it. I really did. We've got about 50 odd seconds. I was talking to a friend of mine, Dan Washburn, who did a tour of Ireland not so long ago.
Yeah, I listened to the interview.
Oh, okay. So you would have heard me ask him about blind people skydiving.
Yeah. Yeah. I listened to the whole interview there because Dan's part of our stable.
Okay. Well, I don't know whether
he's in the same group of company that we keep with the country music social media. So
nice.
he comes out of Canada now, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, he's always come out of Canada, but he just did a tour of Ireland.
Yeah. No, Ireland.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and believe me, I'm absolutely elated today to be catching up with a good friend of ours, Nick Plews from the band, the Heartland Roots Band, coming out of Leicester. And we were talking about Dan Washburn actually being over in Ireland through the break and doing tours over there. He's promoted by Steve Ballore, if I remember right.
Yeah. From what I understand, yeah, and he does a great job, and I think he enjoyed a drop of the black stuff in Ireland. He was saying as well.
Yeah, believe me, I've heard you can make shoes out of that stuff once you finish with it.
I bow to your superior knowledge, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you put it in a mould and press it out, and before you know it, you've got a oh my goodness.
Well, bless my soul.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to have a tongue for these things.
Well, yeah.
That laced that one up. It really did. Brian.
Oh, here we go. Come on now.
There it is. Believe me, you won't win if you try me on these things. You really won't. And I've had a lot of comedians over the years try and take me on, and they just. In fact, I have had criminologists and psychologists say, Grant, my head hurts. Nobody wins, believe me. Brian Wayne Perry says Galaxy FM rocks. So right. So right.
Correct.
It really does.
Correct.
It's an obsession. Which is a good segue to tell me about obsession.
Well, that's got a bit of a sort of a Latino feel. Your listeners will say that, and I think that's a good pop song. I really, of course I would say that, but I really like that. And it was an idea again from Adrian that came up, and I think the Sam delivers it with great passion and great vocals, and it's just a nice flowing song. Again, listeners, make your own minds up, and if we get the courtesy of getting it played, well, make your own minds up. I think that's great.
Well, as you know, Nick, I play your music in my car, and I think it's music to drive fast to. I really do. Loving Obsession. And I got to be honest, 1,219 people have been requesting it so far. It's starting to pick up. It really is.
Thank you so much.
Here is the Heartland Roots Band coming out of the UK and Obsession. Oh man, it's hot in here.
You can work out, Grant, that I'm not deliberately dodging all the questions about the songs, but for me, I know some means, and I don't want to put my foot in it sometimes, So by revealing the true meanings, off air we can talk about it, but
you can't talk about it now.
Obsession was also to do with. We're off air now, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, we're not. We're on Facebook Live.
No. Barbara's actually filming this Facebook Live, so. No.
Right, well, there's things that we will always be able to discuss, but certainly some of the lyrics on the songs, they appertain to people or certain events or places, and I think it'd be a great idea that the listeners interpret it for themselves. Really.
Good dodge. It's a swerve. I love that. Dear. And it has nothing to do with the price of fish. Caleb McIntyre is watching.
Yeah.
Well. Nice to have you, Caleb. It really is.
Any new music, Caleb?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It really was.
Anyway.
We've got Rock to My Roll, and we've got your new most favoured song, Bad Times Good, coming up.
Yeah.
Okay. And believe me,
I will certainly discuss Bad Times Good with you if you wish. So.
Yeah, always. I'm just wondering about your role, though.
What, the Rock to My Roll?
Yeah.
It was a play on words, lyrically.
We can say that.
Again, I refer to my previous answer on that. I think people should interpret, because music's a beautiful thing and it evolves, and whilst it's important to those that write it and about the subjects that they want to write about, it's up to other people that everybody will interpret in a different way, and it will mean so many different things to so many different people.
Nick, have you ever worked in the courts? Because you're good at dodging shit, man. Believe me.
It's the non-politician in me, I think, Grant.
I've been there too, believe me. You say affirmative stuff about people and that you don't want to talk about, you know what I mean, in the courtroom,
Yeah.
and just not answer a damn question. It's all duck and swerve, believe me. I had a judge say to me, Grant, you should have been a lawyer. I went, no, I don't need that much money.
I don't need the stress. I think, you know, but no, it's. I genuinely do believe that, though. You might think I'm dodging it, but music means so much to so many different people. You know, I could sit here and tell you why the song evolved and why it's written and what it's written about, but that wouldn't appertain to somebody who's listening who take a totally different stance on it. And I don't want it to be bracketed for what single things. It's so much to so many people.
I get it. Let's go back to the desk. And we'll rock to my role.
But if I don't, where will we stand? This is my last word, my last confession. With you is not love, it's obsession.
You know, Nick, I've still got this Harco thing going on in my mind now with a bit of, you know, just the lips and the way, you know, I can just see him doing it too, to be honest with you. That's funny, you know. But at the same time, I mean, would you be Keith Richards then?
I'll be everything to every man and every woman. If it helps us to promote our music, yeah, I don't mind dressing up. I do a bit of Keith Richards, yeah, no problem at all.
I was with those guys literally over in Fiji when he had something to do with a coconut tree.
Oh, right, what's the story with that one then?
Well, you know, there was an incident, I've got to be honest with you. I think a coconut by mistake just smacked him in the nut and bloody near killed him.
Yeah, I do actually seem to remember hearing of that. But where was that? Over in Fiji, did you say?
Yeah, it was over in the islands, literally. Well, I was doing a show
Oh,
over
God.
there, and they were coming in to do a show as we were leaving, and we overlapped by about 2 days or something. One of those days, nothing but security and ambulance, doctors, panic everywhere. Keith Richards is hurt, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, really? Is he? Yeah, what happened? Got attacked by a coconut.
Put that on your CV.
Yeah, exactly. But it really happened, really did. Unfortunately, Paulie Yates wasn't with Mick at the time, which would have been, you know, because
That's a different kind of nuts. Isn't
yeah,
it?
well, yeah, I know Paula, of course,
Yeah.
with a previous band that I worked with, if you know what I mean. She was involved with that, so that's why I was saying, unfortunately, she wasn't with Mick at the time, which would have been, you know, down old times roads, if you got to admit that one, you know. But, of course, those of you that know Keith Richards, you can go back, if you ever get lost in London, just find Keith Richards and say where you want to go. He would just go, take the I-5 down here.
They've had a remarkable innings, you know, with the rock and roll lifestyle that they obviously led, and you know they've done well. I think they're probably pickled, you know, so it's helping with the longevity of it all. I think, you know.
Way back in the day, they started off with Chess Records. Do you know the story about them?
No.
Chess Records. This is a guy literally who wanted to record music, but he wanted to record, and believe me, back in the day, this is very controversial, he wanted to record traditional blues music, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that meant you had to, you know, have Native Americans and American blacks, if you want to call it like that, come in and do recording. He's the guy who found Muddy Waters, for instance, Howling Wolf, some real legends in the game, even Ella Fitzgerald.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely,
same guy that found the Rolling Stones and recorded them to start with. I mean, look at them today. You know what I mean?
They always had the blues influence. And on that subject, could I know it's a bit selfish, could I say a massive hi to my lovely partner Sean, who happens to be a massive Rolling Stones fan, and her house is covered in memorabilia to Keith Richards. So, hi Shawnee. See you soon.
Shawnee, I got one question for you. Do you get any satisfaction? Or is it just painted black? Dear, oh dear.
Yeah, we're not going to go down the road with my little red rooster. Well, we're not.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't mind. Dear, oh dear. Alice Walker is watching. Hey, you brother man, nice to have you on board. It really is. And Katie Hubcat. Dear, oh dear, here. Excuse me a minute, my bro.
I'd love to say a big shout out and a big hi to them guys as well, and also Michael Fisher, who I know you interviewed recently, as well as Arliss and the JD and Cat and the radio guys. But one of Michael Fisher's songs, what was it now? A fantastic thing, and it was interesting to listen to everybody. But a massive shout out again to Arliss Walker and all the Rise Up TV guys as well. You know, because I've been keeping my eye on them on tour. Doing their European legs of the tour, and that's been with Tim Steinbeck and Lisa Sanders and all the rest of the guys that are over there. Have a great time, guys.
Well, I tell you what, Tim Steinreich right now, he should be, if my calculations are right, should be in Norway meeting up with a guy called Gay Miranda from Biking Queen. I introduced these guys together a number of years ago. They formed this relationship. This is the first meeting, and believe me, my bro, I would love to be a fly on the wall when that happens. You know what I mean?
They're big characters, aren't they?
Absolutely. Both of these guys, salt of the earth. I love both of them, including Bob, who's going to be with Tim Steinreich as well, if you know what I mean. So, you know, we love Bob. We do. Speaking of Bob, I don't know, what do you call a man with no arms and no legs in the ocean?
Bob.
Bob, yeah. So what do you call a man with no arms and no legs at the front door?
No idea.
Matt.
What was it?
Matt.
Oh, sorry, everyone.
Okay, so what do you call a man with no arms, no legs under a pile of leaves?
No idea.
Russell.
Oh.
Okay, look, what do you call a man with no arms and no legs? Anything you like, he's not going to come.
Oh,
You got Jakey, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's like the old joke, isn't it? What do you call a bloke with a lighthouse on his head?
Bright.
No, Cliff.
Cliff, of course. Yeah, believe me, I get it. Tell me something. Cliff Richard, has he sold his soul to the devil? He never seems to change.
I think he's in this eternal bubble of health kicks and private therapies, and yeah, he just doesn't seem to age. I think he looks after himself, you know.
Well,
he plays a bit of tennis and doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, you know. But yeah, he doesn't seem to age, does he?
No, I thought he had taken up residence at Madame Trudeau's or something. They'd take him at night, dump him in some...
What's his shiny skin?
Yeah, exactly. You know, this guy, believe me, I'm sure he still looks like 30 years ago. He still looks the same age, if you know what I mean. So I thought he signed a deal with the devil. I really did. I thought,
Andy Sturgeon.
yeah, maybe he met the same guy that Robert Johnson met. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That guy. Now, I did give you a little bit of stick before and say that you're very non-committal about some of these songs. Now, let me explain myself to you. The reason why I do this, and literally, is because our audience wants to know what was in the author's mind, the lyricist's mind, the person who put the score together, the whole deal, everything like that. That's why I ask the questions. And I understand your reservations on answering them. I really do. And I applaud you for that because, believe me, I've never had anybody else say, don't want to answer it. You know what I mean, before.
No, it's not that I don't want to answer it, you know.
But, you know, at the same time, I respect what you're doing. So, rock to my role And
Yeah.
believe me, I think this is a fantastic track. I really do. And would love to get the skinny in-depth on all of these songs properly. Maybe in the near future, you never know, I might be able to get you to convince, it might be a public holiday or something. We might be able to get everybody together, or even a band practice.
We'd actually love that. We'd love that, honestly.
I would really like to be able to get in depth and find out the real story behind these songs, rather than saying, okay, folks, you make your own mind up and love the song, which is admirable. I like that. That leaves interpretation and open for interpretation. But believe me, I am one of these people that likes to get behind the person that's written it and find out what exactly it meant when they wrote the song Rock to My Roll. I'm not going to put you through that, my bro. I understand what you're saying. But right now, here is the Heartland Roots Band and Rock to My Roll.
Thank you. Thank you for treating me gently on that.
Right, we're family. Of course I'm going to.
Yeah, but you've got a job to do. You want to find out stuff, and I fully appreciate that. But I genuinely, as I said, Grant, believe that it will mean so much to so many different people. And Adrian is the guy to speak to, because he's a prolific writer, and he leads the band, and we all muck in and we do our stuff. But the lyrics a lot of the time are very personal to him, and the situations. His wife had cancer, for instance. She went through chemotherapy and.
Sure.
And various other things throughout pre-lockdown and during lockdown. So I would love to get the whole band together, and Adrian could give you all the goss and the deep down dirty stuff that you need to know, really.
Well, I'm a journalist as well as being a DJ and stuff like that.
Of
But at the same time, I'm the person who has to ask the questions for the people who can't ask. You know what I mean?
No, of course, I understand that. I understand that fully. Yeah. And I don't want it to seem like I'm completely dodging everything, but again, they're personal, and he'd be the better guy to relate them to. I could tell you things, and it might not be the best thing. So the horse's mouth is better for me.
Absolutely, I love that, I do. Lisa Saunders, hello Lisa, how you going?
Hello,
you must
Lisa.
have jet lag by now or something. It has been a while since you've been on board. Nice to have you back, darling, it really is. Please stay safe on your endeavours, won't you? Absolutely.
Did she get her phone back?
Did she get her phone back? Did she lose her phone?
Yes.
Yeah, I think she left it in Paris. I think was it Lisa or
Lisa.
yeah, one of the
Lisa.
crew over there left the phone in Paris anyway.
Oh,
she had
dear.
to buy a replacement one. So yeah.
There wasn't
Can I
any...
also offer this to you guys?
Absolutely.
It's for Barbara. It's for Barbara actually. It's McEwen's Export, brewed in Scotland, and it's a nice drop. So
Awesome.
cheers to you both and to all your
Thank
listeners.
you.
Well, thank you. Same to you, my bro. Thank you.
Don't drink.
Gosh, Lisa, so much jet lag. No, didn't get it back. Hope there wasn't anything.
My phone, everything that's on.
I had my brother lose his phone, and I says to him about 2 years ago, he rang me up and he says, I've lost my phone. I says, how are you calling me? He goes, I had to buy another one. I went, okay. All right, fair enough. He says, the problem is, I've got sensitive photos on that phone. And I says, I'll make sure the rest of the world knows to look for it for you then.
Yeah. And share.
Exactly. Oh, dear. Yeah, and I kind of know the sort of stuff he'd have on his phone too. I would. It wouldn't be gummy bears. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Doesn't quite look like Pippa, but not too bad. Not too bad. But believe me, Nick, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. It really, really is. Now, I've got to let you know, we were talking earlier on, and it's not too many bands that have actually had 3 or more, in fact, 2 or more songs playing here at Galaxy at any one given time. And believe me, I can count them on maybe about 3 fingers. You know what I mean? So it's very, very exclusive club. And you happen to be in on that club, well, the Heartland Roots Band, especially, you know, Gasoline, still going through the roof. It really is. Bullet, mate, what can I say there? Gaining traction every day.
Thank you.
Good Times Bad has come from behind and absolutely kicked its way right on up in there. It really, really has. And, you know, I'm expecting it to land somewhere around between 20 and 10 tomorrow morning, because every time we do an interview with an artist, we notice that their music has been more requested the next day, and it just moves on up the chart. So it'll be interesting tomorrow to see where it lands, because I'm kind of thinking at the moment it's on, of course, the hot list. Let's give it a number. Let's find out where it comes in. Now, having said that, my friend, I'm thinking to myself, this is one, you can't get away with it. You're going to have to tell me about this. Come on.
What, with Good Times Bad?
Absolutely about Good Times Bad.
Well, okay, again, it evolves out of lockdown through personal experiences. Our lovely keyboardist, Anna, contracted some cancer, went through chemotherapy, and has come out through the other side. I think it's just a message to everybody that we've come out of lockdown, we've come out of situations throughout our lives with the people that we're involved with, close or not, and that, yeah, good times can, you know, good times bad, bad times good. I play on words again, but, you know, let's all get on with it and be positive and work our way through this, you know, and I think that's what we've all done pre the last 2 years, and we're now at the other side and getting back to some sense of normality. But it was the trials and tribulations along the way that we all suffered in various degrees, some more than others. Hence, Anna, our lovely keyboardist, who's married to Adrian, in the band, which is one of the reasons he penned the lyrics for that one.
You know, I was thinking the other day, in 20 odd years' time, there's going to be kids sitting in bars going, you know, I'm a pandemic baby, I was born in the pandemic era. Then there's going to be others that go, yeah, I was born in the Trump era.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I noticed that he tried to have a rally the other day, and he got out all his flyers, got all his mechanisms out there to get everything in place, and just on the day, he's saying, well, how many are out there? And his age is 27. And he goes, what, 27,000? That's not bad. You know, that's pretty good. And he goes, his age goes, no, 27.
Big numbers.
Yeah, you know, he got the big C. He really did. Spent lots of money getting it too. It just shows you the change in times, though, don't you think? I mean,
it's we've all been through a lot, haven't we? And we're you know, fortunately, those of us that are still here, it's up to us now to carry the mantle and move things forward. And your good selves on the radio station promoting happiness throughout the world, which is what you basically do, and involving people like a good selves to be a part of that. And that's the way it should be. Let's all just enjoy our lives and have a good time. You know?
Nick, I've said this to you before. We only play the good stuff here. We really do.
Thank you.
And this is good stuff. It is Bad Times Good, the Heartland Roots Band, and they're more requested. And believe me, it's climbing. It really is. It's coming up to Gasoline, not too far away, in fact. Here's the Heartland Roots Band, and Bad Times Good. And I'm not getting through a breakfast show without playing it.
Thank you.
Dear. Brian Way Perry, Grant, you're an instigators there. Yeah, we definitely need to party. Yes, Brian, I second that one for sure. Party? Mate.
Oh, Nick will be in for it too.
Nick will be in for it as well. Yeah. Brian is, believe me, he's from the Perry Group, which is a recording group or an agent or a label, if you want to put it like that. We've known Brian for some years, literally going way back to the days of, I think, Rod Black.
Yeah, for sure.
Been good friends with Brian ever since, you know what I mean? And so I'm very, very proud to be able to tell anybody about the Perry Group. I am. And believe me, he's a wonderful man in his own right. He really, really is.
Whereabouts are they based then, Grant, the Perry Group?
I think they're in Canada.
Nashville?
They're back in Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville.
I remember there was one member
okay.
that went to Canada at one stage, wasn't there? A young lady, part of the Perry Group, and now they're back in Nashville. Yeah. I think Brian's grandfather, off memory, I may be wrong, Brian, formed it many, many years ago, so it's got stability, you know what I mean?
Well, if you guys could put us in touch, that'd be great, because we always have to making new connections, new friends all over the place, and that's the way forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'll certainly do that. In Brian's words, we are a distributor via The Orchard, which is Sony Music and that, the label service company in Nashville. It was Brian's father that did it. It was a Perry
we
Music.
respect to Brian and his father, and we'd love to speak to you at some point. Please put us in touch.
Yeah,
I tell you what, I'll get Barbara to do a group thing for you, bro.
I've
Yeah,
got
thank you
also
so
Austin
much. Yeah,
Hopkins
yeah.
to introduce.
You know, long term, we'd love to go over to the States and do some music. You know, meet some good people and get out there and do some stuff. We've got a couple of UK tours sorted out for next year now. One in the early part of the year, one in the summer, to get ourselves out there, do a bit of promo and meet some good guys.
Nice.
But long term, yeah, America would be a great place, as would obviously down your way, New Zealand way. So you never know. You never know.
Hits by Tim McCaw, Toby Keith, and Backstreet Boys and more. So he's got good pedigree.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're talking to Nick Plews, coming out of the band, the Heartland Roots Band, out of Leicester in the UK. And Brian says we'd love to meet him. So we'll set something up for you, Nick, believe me. The band, we think is royalty here at Galaxy, we really, really do. Even though they're English and come out of the UK, that's not their fault. They're just damn good artists, they really are. And, well, I'm pleased that Nick can see the humour in that one. Having said that, my friend, thank you so much for being a part of this. And just wondering, would you put yourself through this again?
Absolutely. You know something? We've all been through, hence bad times, good times in our life. This is by far one of the more pleasurable things, and we've made some great connections through you guys, and more importantly, friendships. And I would value you and Barbara as being friends, and it'd be great to hook up at some point and just stay involved with the family and the noise, guys. So, yeah, I'd certainly put myself through this again with pleasure.
Thank you very, very much, and we would love to be able to continue our relationship in this family, and it is a family, as you say, and would love to be able to promote and get new music from you. So please keep me employed.
Thank you.
Please come back again, won't you?
If invited, we'd be there like a shot. And again, as we spoke to about earlier, it'd be great to get some of the other band guys together. It's just, you'll appreciate the logistics with families, life, and the time difference. But you know, I'm certainly here. I know the other guys would love to be here at some point. So if invited, we'd love to come back. Thank you.
We know that you're going to be invited back anytime, believe me. Love to each and every artist, member of the Heartland Roots Band, and respect to each and every one of them from myself, because I really do appreciate the music and the effort that everybody puts in to make this wonderful movement called the Heartland Roots Band. So, Keep an eye out for them. Go and check them out. If you see them live, please go and get yourself a ticket. Go and be a part of it, and then go up to Nick and Paul and say, I'm a friend of Grant's. They'll know who you're talking about. You know, the hairy guy in New Zealand. Yeah. Shimmer Johnson is joining us. Brian, I've got to say thank you very much for joining us. It has been a pleasure. Have a very happy and successful day, my friend. Bye for you. Having said that, let me tell you how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, Sony Music, The Orchard, here with Galaxy.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music The Orchard.